The first two shows have been amazing, man. Great crowd response, big crowd. Last night was incredible. One of the best shows we've had in a long time. So Dallas is always good. Texas is always good to us.
Yeah, Texas in general. Not our first headlining tour, but first official headlining tour.
We've done some headlining tours before, but this is the first one bringing out like production. It's got like a name. Yeah, gonna do it, going all out.
It's kind of a publisher thing. You know, we hook up with certain parts of our label, like Sony ATV actually set that up for us, and was pitching our songs have been pitching our songs to movies since the first record came out. So this one actually landed a role. We were really excited about it. So, yeah, it almost seemed like it would fit perfectly somewhere in the movie. Yeah, it was amazing, and
it was a great movie.
It was neat to see it as a part of the trailer because it was really just worked perfect. It's definitely both. I think if you think of the color red, it's just a very dominant, bold color, and I think it just embodies a lot of things, like different emotions like love and hate, and anger and frustration, and love and passion. And all those things are kind of the embodiment of our music. So it's just a very bold and strong thing for us, and it defines us as a band for the most part. So I guess it's an easy way for us to display the dichotomy, you know what I mean? Like the two sides of the man. Like, let's show our two sides, like the innocent side and the insistent side. It's just been a blessing because we just see the music inspiring people for the most part. It was more or less like just reading through some of it, seeing the imagery and what it stood for, and it's a lot of the angels and demons and just the struggle between the two realms of good and evil. I think that's kind of what we're talking about, like what we all deal with internal, just the two different fighting sides we have. I wouldn't say the writing process is any different. We tried to, obviously show growth and maturity on the second record. I think it was a matter of just, coming from a different angle, more or less, thematically with the songs. The first record was about redemption, kind of like getting into a struggle and finding a way out and finding a life. This record actually kind of dives into the struggle itself. Each individual song has a different emotion. It seems that it's kind of roller coaster ride. So many songs take on more of an innocent thing, and some of them take on more of an innocent. It's a great feeling. I think it's a huge responsibility on our part. We set out to do that from the very beginning. It's because music has inspired us and basically changed all of our lives as individuals. And that's all we're trying to do for the people that love our music, is to show them that we're just like everybody else, and we're just singing about those things and being loud about them. Showing them that they're not they're not alone. And, we're dealing with the same kind of things every single day. It's just cool to see people come up and talk to us about the things that we've inspired them to do. Basically inspiring change in their life and the little world that they live in. I don't know, man. We were actually talking about doing a cover just as a B-side, sort of just extra bonus track on iTunes or something like that. And we were actually originally going to cover a 9 Inch Nails song or something like that. We're big fans of bands like that. And our producer's cousin actually said, hey, why don't you guys try to do an 80s song or 90s song like Duran Duran? We're just like, I don't know about that. And so we listened to Ordinary World, and our producer was kind of intrigued and thought we could possibly pull it off. And we started working on it. It took on its own form, and it's very close to the original. It's a very classy version of the original song, but it has a vibe and like almost like a very red sound to it.
I've been playing music since I was 13. I started playing drums when I was 13. I don't know, man. I picked it up and I started playing at church like a month later and just really got into it. I was on the road like 4 years later, so I just really got into it. I had some big influences as far as drummers like Dave Grohl, Taylor Hawkins, Josh Freese, like a bunch of drummers like that. Good rock drummers, influenced me a whole lot. So.
Joe made it work for it because Joe actually dropped out of high school to join a band. Went on the road. He's been on the road ever since. Don't But he went back, got his GED, and
at least he went back.
It was so cool because I went all the way through college, just playing music on and off, and it was something I was really passionate about too. But guys like Joe just started so young. It's like Randy, Mike, and we all graduated college before it really took off for us. It's cool that we all finally met up and we were the Reds.
Mike seems to get the Williams.
How will the injuries mount up this time?
Hopefully there won't be any injuries. Most likely it will be self-inflicted rather than someone else hurting someone else. It's definitely unfortunate when it does happen because every time it has happened it's been pretty scary. So Michael lost a lot of blood the first time it happened. It's not really that hard, man. It really isn't. It's just we have a strong foundation. We are who we are, and we don't deny it. Whenever anybody wants to know who we are, we talk to them. They want to talk to us about it. We just kind of guard our heart for the most part, and just live life and love on people regardless of who they are and what they do. And we respect it. At the end of the day, that's mostly what people respect us for is that we're normal people and we act like it. We don't have a hidden agenda whatsoever, and we step on stage and we can hang with the big boys and we play a hard rock show, and they'll respect you even more for that. That's just there's nothing about us that's any different than any of those bands we toured with. Touring and writing record 3.
We're going to hit the road hard the rest of the year. I would start writing sometime. And we're going to be writing all year, but we're going to start hitting hard sometime this year.
Don't be afraid of the bad kids. It's something that you kind of have to learn on your own. It's like you have to just have a strong foundation more or less. And I think if you're mature enough and have a strong foundation, that you can deal with being in the world and being a part of something you don't necessarily agree with, but you can change their hearts and change their minds about who you are as a person and stomp out those stereotypes of being a person that leads a life of faith. Because you can be just as cool as anybody else and have a blast just like anybody else. But trust me, if you love on them regardless of who they are and what they do, that you'll change them. They'll want to be more like you because they can see that they can have just as good a time being more like you and in a positive light rather than struggling with the things they struggle with.
Yeah. What advice would you give anybody, starting off, wanting to play music?
Any kind of instrument that you start off with.
Show your hands.
Yeah, take care of your hands. I had 2 huge blisters on my hands today when I woke up. So I had to pop both of them and sterilize them and then keep them wrapped. But practice. The day we get home from tour, I practice like the first day I'm home, and I practice every day I'm home for 2 hours, 3 hours, I think practicing is good. Watching lots of other musicians or drummers is very good to do that. I basically taught myself, listen to CDs, played along with music.
Yeah, that's what I do, play along with
How old are
music.
you?
11.
So you're at a very spongy age. You can soak up so much.
It's a very good age to start.
So much. The older you get, the harder it is.
Yeah, and she just, at her school, she just got into band there. So that's also going to help out.
I didn't play drums, but I was in band as well, and that's always a great thing to do.
Don't let anybody tell you you're a geek or dorm or whatever. We were all in marching band, concert band, all
the band guys are rock stars.
Yeah, exactly. So take it very serious because it'll pay off. If that's what you really want to do. Come check us out if you haven't seen us before.
If you haven't seen us, check us out. Check our website out, redmusiconline.com.
We'll turn you on to Red for sure.